No. Like I did. But I do not shoot people who just had sex with a woman to make him forget he had sex with a woman, nor do I try to beat up men who have sex with women consensually, as long as the woman says yes to the request for sex. Now, some people think you're only supposed to be one with one woman, and some people think you can be with many women and have a bunch of women have sex with you. And the same problem with that is also in the Bible with a king called Solomon who had 1,000 wives. Men today, like Wilt Chamberlain or Fidel Castro, are rumored to have had sex with 10,000 to 35,000 women, right? Now, I'm not shooting for a number of women like that either, though I too was taught to be with one if one chooses to be with you. Mm-hmm. Now, some men, okay, want to control other men through the sex act and think sex act with the woman or the man is the sin, right? Well, one could be the sin, right? But the sin itself is because you say it's a sin too, right? And you don't forgive people for doing it or not doing it as well. Mm-hmm. So you're trying to make people have sex with you, which is called rape. No. You are not supposed to make someone who is under a certain age have sex at all until they reach what is called the age of consent, which in the state of Georgia is 16. Now, in other states, the age is 18. But I live in the state of Georgia, so the age of consent is 16. This I learned growing up in Georgia myself, though now I'm a 50-year-old man. Right? From the 70s, right? By now. So, don't let other people, though, tell you what you can or can't do, but love even people who are different than you, and God might forgive you your own mistakes, right? That's what Jesus came to show us, forgiveness of our mistakes and to love each other, even if certain mistakes you don't like someone doing, as long as they don't try to murder or rape or kill you over them, right? It's okay for them to do, right? Like some people like tattoos or body art. Some people don't, right? But you do not attack people who like tattoos or people who don't. Mm-hmm. Some people want to wear their hair with what's called dye. Mm-hmm. Some people, like certain men and women, can go what's called bald, and certain people do not go bald. Mm-hmm. But we are all men and women as well. That's also a genetic consequence of the sin in Eden. Some of the creatures we have today are short statured human beings, and some of them are taller human beings. And sometimes the shorter human beings have problems dating as well as the taller human beings. And then you have those who are in the middle or between those heights, right, as well. And then you have fat human beings who sometimes get bullied. And then you have thin human beings. You have human beings who wear glasses and human beings who do not, right? That is because some of them have vision problems because of the mistake. But God is trying to teach us how to get out of the problem, but maybe we keep making the same mistakes too, but that's okay. God will always care for us. Even if the bad guy tricks us, which is what he is known as anyway, we're still trying to find our way back to the good guy and being good. Right? Ryan? Don't know which Ryan. Okay, not all Ryans, right? Wherever you're from, Ryan. But Ryan is again dealing with the same pressures we all deal with. And whatever choice you make, Ryan, is up to you. Mm-hmm. No condemnation. But is it better to be with someone you don't want to be with right? Or with someone you really want to be with, even if they're of the same sex, right? Right. That's what I mean, too. Now, if you want to be with the opposite sex, that is more natural, but there's no condemnation for those who don't. Either. But the bad guy tries to teach you to lie about how you feel and get you to feel uncomfortable with it. But because there are more straight people in its lie, too. But see, if you're with a bunch of people or with one person, the key role is, do you let them say yes or no to it, right? If they can say yes or no to it, you're giving them what's called a choice. If they do not say yes and you do it anyway, that is called not giving them the choice, right? That is called removing their choice from them and telling them they have no choice but to be gay. Though they still have a choice, even if you don't want them to have a choice, if there are two sexes in the world. And also hermaphrodites. You can be with a hermaphrodite, male or female. And none of it is something you have to worry about if you agree to what you want to do before you do it. And if someone says no, they don't want to do something, then let it go and don't do it, right? That is a big problem here, it seems. Understanding the word no means no. And the word yes means yes. And even if someone was tricked into being with you and you thought they really liked you, that's okay. Forgive it. Try to make that person feel good even if someone else wants them to feel bad. No matter who it was I was with, past, present, or future, I do not judge you under condemnation. The devil makes you feel like I do. But I am trying to help us all understand the message, which we don't always want to do, and we always want to attack someone thinking we're doing it for God, but we could be doing it for ourselves and the bad guy, not the good guy, who is always good. And the good angel is always trying to be good. Even if he had sex with 8 women and married one and she committed adultery against him, he still forgave her. And plus, they didn't bring the man with her, so he could stone them both anyway. Technically, he used what's called a loophole to get them both out of trouble. Perhaps he too was with a woman from Samaria who had 5 husbands, and the one she was with was not her husband, but they were simply living together. But when she met him, they got to know each other. And he introduced himself to her as the Messiah of Israel. And she believed him because she knew how many husbands she had had before she met him. And that the one she was with then was not her husband, but she was intimate with him anyway. And he did not judge her for her past mistakes. But forgave her as well. And may have been with her intimately as well. We do not know, right? This is because a man called Isaiah was also a prophet of this nation, right? And he said, in that day, 7 women will take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel, only that us be called by thy name to take away our reproach. This woman had also not had a child with these 6 men she was with as well. But the 7th claimed to be the Messiah she met by the well. And he said to her, let he that is without sin cast the first stone, when they brought the woman to him to stone her, according to the law of Moses, being caught in the act of adultery, which only the man she committed adultery with in the law of Moses